in memory of 6 million. The Holocaust was a systematic genocide perpetrated by Nazi Germany and its collaborators with the aim of annihilating the Jewish people. Between 1933 and 1941, Nazi Germany stripped the Jews of their rights and their property, forcing much of the Jewish population to concentrate in smaller spaces. In 1941, the Nazis and their collaborators launched the systematic mass murder of the Jews. By the time World War II ended, nearly 6 million Jews had been murdered. Reading suggestions: Europe Against the Jews, Hitler's First 100 Days, The Holocaust, A New History, The Diary of a Young Girl, and The Watchmakers. The creation of ghettos was a key step in the Nazi process of brutally separating, persecuting, and ultimately destroying Europe's Jews. Jews were forced to move into the ghettos, where living conditions were miserable. Ghettos were often enclosed districts that isolated Jews from the non-Jewish population and from other Jewish communities. German authorities established the first ghetto in Poland in 1939. The vast majority of ghetto inhabitants died from disease, starvation, shooting, or deportation to killing centers. Reading suggestions: Rika's Diary, Escape from the Ghetto, The Holocaust Ghettos, Renia's Diary, The Light of Days, The Untold Story of Women Resistance Fighters in Hitler's Ghettos. The Warsaw Ghetto, established on October 12, 1940, was the largest ghetto in both area and population. There, more than 350,000 Jews, about 30% of the city's population, were eventually confined in about 2.4% of the city's total area. Between July and September 1942, German SS and police deported about 265,000 Jews from the Warsaw Ghetto to the Treblinka killing center. In response, different Jewish underground organizations came together to create an armed self-defense unit, commanded by 24-year-old Mordechai Anielewicz. These Jewish resistance fighters disrupted Jews being transported and encouraged the ghetto inhabitants to hide rather than be deported. These activities caused the Germans to suspend further deportations. Encouraged, the people in the ghetto began preparing for an uprising by constructing underground bunkers and shelters. On April 19, 1943, the Jews of the Warsaw Ghetto began their final act of armed resistance against the Germans. Lasting 27 days, this act of resistance came to be known as the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. About 700 young Jewish fighters clashed with the German forces, sometimes in hand-to-hand combat. These fighters were poorly equipped and lacked military training and experience. In the end, the Germans razed the ghetto to the ground. They burned and demolished this part of Warsaw block by block. By May 16, 1943, the Germans had crushed the uprising and deported surviving ghetto residents to concentration camps and killing centers. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising was the largest and symbolically most important Jewish uprising during World War II, inspiring uprisings in other ghettos such as in Białystok and Minsk. It was also the first urban uprising in German-occupied Europe. Reading suggestions: The Boy, A Holocaust Story, Winter in the Morning, Courage Under Siege, The Diary of Mary Berg, Shielding the Flame, The Bravest Battle, and Irina's Children. Viewing suggestions: The U.S. and the Holocaust, Big Sonia, Shoah, A Film Unfinished, Irina Sendler in the Name of Their Mothers, Uprising, Korzak, In Darkness, The Courageous Heart of Irina Sendler, The Pianist. Find more information on the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum website, ushmm.org, and on the Johnson County Library website, jocolibrary.org. Search the catalog by keyword Holocaust Jewish, 1939 to 1945. In memory of 6 million.